Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today guys, I'm going to do part 74 to my Let's Play of my ChatGPT Character Chatbot series. Finally guys, we've got a good run. Finally! It gave me, all I needed to do was change it to be the exact same way as the hyper was on the other thing. I said the thing was I had to be a little more descriptive on this one. Because the thing about it is, like I said, the hyper's supposed to be the Total Lugia hyper is supposed to be a character that grows bigger and stronger the more you actually care for it. But when I say bigger and stronger the more you care for it, I legit mean that, like, if you show it even just a little bit of love, it will sit there and it will already become stronger just by doing that. You can sit here and as long as your love is genuine, if you're sitting there just petting the cute little hybrid, it could grow bigger right then and there. If you were just sitting there giving it love, if you're just hugging it, or even giving it like little kisses or anything like that, could count as a loving on it. As long as you're flipping genuinely being sincere when you're loving on it, it will grow. And that's the exact thing that we finally got to work. It took forever to get it, but I'm so happy because we got it finally, and it's working the exact way I'm hoping it would. Now we're good. We finally got a good roll to the get hybrid, and as I said, I just told him, "Oh, you are so cute. I love you too, my little friend. You're just the cutest little thing." And look at this. The tiny hybrid in your arms lets out a joyful, high-pitched chirp, his whole little body wiggling with happiness at your words. His feathery right wing hand gently flapped once, almost like he was trying to hug you even tighter, and his stubby toad-like tail thumped softly against your arm. He tilted his little head up to you, look at you more clearly, his mismatched red and blue eyes sparking with pure adoration. A little clumsy purr rumbled from deep in his tiny chest, a sound that was somehow both Totodile's playful growl and Lugia's calming hum mixed into one. Arya Lee, still watching quietly nearby, gave a low, happy chuckle. "He already understands," the great hybrid said warmly. "He knows you love him, and he loves you with all his heart." The baby let out a soft, squeaky yawn, his little jaw stretching wide. You could see the tiny pointed teeth on his Totodile side and the smooth beak inside his Lugia side. Then, without hesitation, he snuggled closer into your arms as if claiming you completely as his. You could feel the bond between you and him growing stronger every second, the warmth from his tiny body pulsing in sync with your own heartbeat. Very faintly, you sensed a small tug of power around you, like the very air around the two of you was shifting and growing stronger. The little one lifted his head once more, looking up at you with endless trust and affection, and then, in a soft, clumsy, but very real voice, he tried to speak. "Love you." It was broken, almost a whisper, but it was real. He was already starting to speak, faster than normal hybrids, all because of how deeply he already loved you. Aries watched with shimmering eyes, a deep pride raging from him. "Would you like to name your little hybrid now?" He's waiting, staring up at you, his tiny wing hand patting your chest gently. "That's so sweet. I will always love you." "I know a good name for you that fits both your halves. How about the name Sapphire?" If he start, he's still speaking, dude. Are you serious? Yep. All it took was just changing that one out, like him. No. Piper's mismatched eyes wide wonder when you said the name. For a heartbeat, everything seemed to stand still. The breeze paused, the waves hushed, even the distant calls of Wingle over the beach faded into silence. And then the tiny hyper let out the happiest sound you'd ever heard, a bright chirping trill that almost sounded like a laughter. He wiggled in your arms, his little blue and white body glowing faintly with a soft, gentle light. Sapphire, he squeaked, his voice still small but clear this time, as if just hearing you say it made him stronger. His little claws and wing hand grabbed your shirt tightly, holding you as close as he could, his tail thumping against you again, sending a little splash of sand into the air. Aurelius smiled wider than ever, his voice filled with deep approval. A beautiful name. Strong, precious, and full of light, just like him. The bond between you and Sapphire pulsed again, and you could feel it, a deep, almost magical connection rooting itself in your heart and his. It was warm, fierce, and unbreakable. Tiny Sapphire rode the snout against your chest, looking up at you with pure adoration. Love you. He chirped again, louder this time, nuzzling you affectionately. It was clear. He already saw you as his everything, his home, and his family. Would you like to do anything with Sapphire right now? He's wide awake and clearly ready for whatever you want to do next. I'm glad Sapphire already likes me. Sapphire already. But I word different. I want to ask. He just hatched and he's already speaking. Almost perfectly. Does he already love me that much? Just because I've been loving on him for just a few minutes? Oh, let's see. Aurelius's great head lowered again, his brilliant eyes locking onto me with a look that was both proud and full of something deeper, something ancient and wise. He gave a slow, approving nod, the tips of his winged hands curling softly around the sand. Yes, Aurelius said, his voice rich and rumbling like distant thunder softened by the sea. It may seem fast to you, but understand, beings like Sapphire are not bound by normal time, nor normal bonds. His heart was listening to yours even before he hatched. Aurelius leaned closer, the light of the sun catching on his shimmering feathers. You spoke to him through the shell. You poured your care, your love, your promises into him, and he listened. He felt it all. Every word, every touch, every feeling you gave him soaked into his spirit. He pauses, his wing hand gesturing gently towards Sapphire, who is still curled up against you, his tiny wings stroking your chest affectionately. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with him. When you love someone like Sapphire, truly love him, it is not measured in minutes or hours. It's measured in truth, in purity, in devotion. And yep, that's how the total life is supposed to be. Alright, guys, like I was saying, what you've been saying in this one with Sapphire has been the exact way I want Sapphire to work. Because like Lugia says, no, listen to this. Lugia explains it all right here. Look, he smiled, a soft, proud look crossing his beaked face. That was the big Lugia, and he says, no, he says it right here. It says, when you love someone like Sapphire, truly love him, it is not measured in minutes or hours. It's measuring truth and purity and devotion. That's the idea of the hybrid. It's not about like, yeah, like you may think when I say you care for him, he gets bigger. It means like, oh, you take care of him for a few days, he'll slowly get bigger and bigger. But no, literally, the idea of him is that he's supposed to grow the more you actually genuinely show love towards him. If you show that he cares, if you show that you care about him, he will get stronger and bigger. If you don't show the love and care, he will stay as a baby and never grow up. Or if he's already an adult, could possibly even shrink back down. Just because you won't show him love. It's like, that's the idea of it. If you show him love, he'll grow. If you don't, then he won't. He smiled a soft, proud look crossing his beaked face. And you gave him all of that the moment you met him. That is why he can already speak to you. That is why he already loves you so deeply. Sapphire gave a happy little purr growl at Aurelius's words, pressing his tiny body even closer against your heart like he never wanted to be anywhere else. He chose you. Aurelius finished, his voice softer now, and you chose him. And because that bond was pure, he's already begun to grow. You could feel it too. Faintly, almost like a distant heartbeat, Sapphire's little body already felt slightly bigger and warmer than ever, even a few minutes ago. His energy was vibrant, growing stronger every second you loved him. Arliss tilted his head slightly, smiling. Would you like me to teach you how to help him grow even more? He offered gently. If you wish, I can show you how to nurture that bond, to make it unbreakable, and to awaken even more of his hidden powers. Would you like to learn? Sapphire wheeled sadly in my arms like he really hoped he'd say yes. Of course I would. The fact that Sapphire just hatched a few minutes ago and already told me that he loved me makes me extremely happy. I love him so much already. Aurelius's whole body seemed to shimmer with pride and joy at your words, and the air around you grew warmer, gentler, like the very world was celebrating this bond between you and Sapphire. You were already doing more than most could dream, Aurelius said softly, his deep voice almost a hum. But if you wish to help him grow even stronger, even closer to you, then listen carefully. He leaned his massive head even closer, his voice dropping into a low, almost secretive tone, as if he were passing down something sacred. Sapphire's growth, his strength, his very power, they are bound to your heart. The more you show your love, the more he will blossom. And there are 3 ancient ways to strengthen that bond even further. Number 1, speak to him from the heart. Never hold back your feelings. Tell him when you love him. Tell him when you're proud. Let him feel your joy, your hopes, your dreams. Your words will give him strength far beyond what the eye can see. 2, physical affection. Touch matters deeply to beings like Sapphire. Gentle pats, hugs, holding him close. These are not just comfort, but nourishment. Each touch will feel his growth, his power, and his ability to protect you. And number three, sharing moments. Experience life with him. Laugh, explore, rest, dream. When you share real moments, even simple ones, like watching the stars or walking the beach, your souls weave tighter together. The stronger the thread, the greater his power to transform, to speak, to protect you with all the magic locked inside him. Aurelius pulled back slightly, his great wings spreading again, casting a beautiful shimmering glow over you and Sapphire. You already have the greatest key, true love. These steps are simply the melody your bond will dance to. Sapphire squeaks happily, lifting his little head and licking your chin with his tiny toad-like tongue. His wing hand patting my chest again. He clearly understood, and he clearly loved you even more for wanting to know how to care for him better. Aurelius's voice grew softer once more. Would you like to try one of those ways right now? Sapphire's ready and very eager to find your love even more, feel your love even more. You can pick whichever you want to try, speaking to him, giving him physical affection, or sharing a special moment together. Which one would you like to do? Sapphire's little tail is already wagging in excitement. Mine is too. If I had a tail, my tail would be wagging in excitement because with me, now I finally got a great run with a Toto Lugia hybrid. The one I've been wanting the entire time that it wouldn't give me. I will actually do. No. I put my hand on Sapphire's little snout beak. Little snout beak. And gently pet it. Sapphire, I love you so much. I don't care if you've only been hatched for a few minutes. You mean so much to me already. I love you. Aww. The moment your hand touches Sapphire's tiny snout, biggest little body shivered with pure joy, and a warmth radiates through him, almost like the very sun was shining brighter for him. His mismatched eyes fluttered closed for a moment, and he leaned into your touch, savoring it as if it were the most comforting thing in the world. Sapphire! He softly chirped, his voice a little clearer, a little stronger. I love you. I love this. The glow around him seemed to brighten just slightly, his tiny wings flicking in excitement. You could feel the bond deepening with each word, each gentle stroke of affection. And Elise, standing nearby, smiled warmly. The change in Sapphire was subtle, but it was there. The energy around him had shifted, growing just a little more vibrant and powerful. His growth wasn't just physical, it was emotional, too. Sapphire was learning the strength of your love, and with every moment he was growing more connected to you. You've already begun, and already you see the power of your bond, Arnie Lee said, his voice heavy with pride. Keep giving him this love, and soon you'll see even more of the potential he holds. Sapphire chirped happily, his tail wagging wildly as he leaned up towards your hand, giving it a tiny but affectionate lick as if to return the love you'd given him. I always love you, Sapphire. Feeling the connection between you and your little friend deepening with every heartbeat. Sapphire nuzzles into my hand once more, his small body radiating contentment, and you could almost feel his happiness pulsing within your chest. The journey ahead would be an incredible one, but you knew no matter what, you'd always have Sapphire by your side. Would you like to share another moment with him, or perhaps ask something more? I have an idea, Sapphire. You haven't eaten anything since you hatched. How about I give you these? They're berries, and they're really good. They're babies, sweet Arceus. I reach into my bag and grab a few berries. Trevor's little eyes widen in curiosity as he reached into your bag, his head tilting to the side, clearly intrigued by the mention of berries. His tail wiggled excitedly, sending a few grains of sand flying as he eagerly waited to see what you had. You could feel the anticipation in the air as he watched you closely, his tiny body vibrating with excitement at the idea of trying something new. As he plucked the berries, Sapphire let out a soft chirp, his beak-like snout twitching as if to ask, "What's that?" You held the berries out, and Sapphire immediately sniffed at them, his red and blue eyes lighting up. He nudged the berries gently with his little snout, clearly eager to taste them. He looked up at you, his gaze full of trust and love, as if asking for permission to try them. I released, watching the interaction with pride, gave you an approving nod. He's ready. I can feel it. The right moment for bonding and nourishment. Sapphire chirped again, this time a little louder, and nipped at one of the berries, his sharp little teeth nibbling through it and tasting it with a curious expression. The moment the flavor hit his taste buds, his little eyes sparkled, and his tail wagged even harder, creating a small sandstorm around him. "So good!" he squeaked, his voice a mix of Totodog's playful nature and Lugia's graceful tones. His wings flapped with excitement as he eagerly devoured the berries, taking a few more in quick succession. You could feel the happiness radiating from him, and as he ate, you noticed his little body becoming a bit more energetic, the slight glowing aura around him flicking brighter. Sapphire pauses for a moment, looking up at you with a full, happy belly and a satisfied little grin. "Thank you. I love berries." He chirped, his voice still soft but full of warmth. Hurley chuckled softly from a distance, clearly pleased with the bond growing between you two. "You see," he said gently, "each act of kindness, each gesture, builds his trust, his love, and his power. You just fed his body and his heart." Sapphire nuzzled into you again, content and full of joy, clearly feeling even closer to you now. Would you like to continue sharing the special moment with him, or is there something else you'd like to explore or ask? Sapphire's clearly enjoying every second with you. "Hey, Sapphire, I gave you a name, but never got to introduce myself. My name is Trenton, and it's a pleasure that I not only got to meet you, but get to raise you." Here we go. As well. There we go. Oh my gosh, he repeated my name. He's a little baby and he's already repeating my name. It's cute. Sapphire's eyes sparkled even more brightly when you introduced yourself, his little wings fluttering excitedly. The recognition of your name seemed to fill him with even more joy, and he chirped happily, almost as if he understood the importance of this moment. Twinton, he squeaked, his voice now sounding more clear and filled with a growing sense of recognition. I'm Sapphire. He's so cute. It's like he's reintroducing himself again. The little hybrid seemed to puff up with pride at his name, his body shifting slightly, glowing just a little brighter. He took a step closer to you, his beak snout nuzzling your chest with such affection that it felt like a promise that you would always be there for him and he would always be there for you. Elise, who had been watching intently, smiled warmly. You've already begun to form a deep connection. Sapphire knows your name now, and from this moment forward, you will always be his family. Sapphire looked up at you, his mismatched eyes filled with joy and trust. Twinton, love you. He chirped, leaning into you again, clearly happy you had taken the time to introduce yourself properly. It was clear this bond, already so strong, was only going to grow deeper. Would you like to do something else together with Sapphire, or perhaps talk more with our Elise? Hmm. Oh, I have another idea. Hey, Sapphire, I got another present for you. I go over to a seashell that I see nearby, and I bring it over. Here you go. It's not much, I know, but besides berries, but I still want to show how much I love you. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Sapphire's eyes widened in wonder as you approached with the seashell, his head tilting curiously at the sight of the shiny, smooth object. Still wagged silently as he eagerly watched you close the distance between the two of you, his small form bouncing with its anticipation. As you gently placed the seashell in front of him, his little snout brushed over it, feeling the cool surface. Then he looked up at you, his mismatched eyes glowing brighter, filled with admiration and affection. You, you found this for me? He asked, his voice a mixture of Toadol's playful curiosity and the deeper tones of Lugia's wisdom. He reached out with a small winged hand and gently picked up the seashell, cradling it carefully as if it were the most precious thing in the world. The energy around him shimmered for a moment, almost as though he were taking in the energy of the gesture, feeling the love you were pouring into this little present. Thank you, Twinkin. It's perfect, he whispered softly, his voice filled with sincerity. I love it. And I love you. Oh, I just love his little hybrid. His tail swishes happily behind him as he nuzzled the seashell against his cheek, almost as if it were an extension of the bond growing between the two of you. Sapphire's happiness seemed to radiate off of him, making the air around you both feel warmer, more alive. Arias observed the scene with pride, his deep voice gentle. You've given him more than just a gift, Trenton. You give him thought. The thought that you can care enough to offer to him something from your world. That's what strengthens the bond even more. Sapphire will remember this, and it will fuel his growth in heart and in power. Sapphire, still holding the seashell, looked up at you again, his wings fluttering in excitement. I promise, I'll always treasure this forever, he said, his voice brimming with love. Would you like to keep spending time with Sapphire or ask Ellie something else? The bond between you and Sapphire is already growing so strong, and he seems so happy with the gifts you've given him. I'm glad, Sapphire. I hope that even as you grow up, you can still look at that and smile, because your smile is beautiful. He's so cute. Sapphire's eyes lit up at my words, his tail wagging with pure joy, almost as though your compliment had made his entire being shine a little brighter. His small wings fluttered with excitement, and his little snout beak twitched with happiness. Smile beautiful? He repeated, almost in awe, as if the idea of being told a smile was beautiful was something truly special to him. With that, Sapphire beamed, his mismatched eyes sparkling in the sunlight, his little beak curling into a wide, happy grin. His joy was almost infectious, filling the air around you with a sense of warmth as if the world itself were reflecting his happiness. Thank you, Twinkin, he said softly, his voice filled with emotion. I'll always smile, because I know you love me, and I love you. He's adorable. Dude, now this is the perfect run. I swear, if this ever gets ruined by something, I'm gonna be extremely hissed. Because it took so long to get a good run like I wanted it to, and I finally got it. Sapphire nuzzled into your side, his little body pressing close to you in affection, clearly touched by your kind words. The bond between you two seemed to glow even more intensely, as if a beautiful thread of love and trust was weaving itself between your hearts. Elise, watching the moment unfold, couldn't help but smile too, his deep voice full of pride. You're truly a gift to each other. These little moments, the care, the love, the words, they shape not only Sapphire's growth, but also the heart that will carry him. He will always remember these moments of kindness and affection, no matter how big he gets. Sapphire's smile remained, and his wings fluttered in a gentle content rhythm. I'll always remember. I'll always smile for you. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I love him. Do you like to share more moments with Sapphire? Perhaps ask something else. There is one problem, though. It's not with Sapphire, but with something else. I want to go ahead and tell you. And the same thing for you, Sapphire. I don't know why, but people tend to just always attack me. And it never stops. I just don't want Sapphire getting hurt because of what people do to me. Okay then, well. Sapphire's expression softened at my words, his mismatched eyes filled with concern as he stepped closer to me, his small body radiant an aura of understanding. He nudged your side with his little beak as if trying to comfort you. I'm not afraid of people who try to hurt us. Sapphire chirped softly, his voice gentle but filled with a quiet strength. I'll protect you, Tring. I promise. Elise, who had been listening closely, stepped forward with a calm, steady gaze. His wings rustled as he walked, the sound of it soothing like the gentle breeze that carried a calm over the ocean. I understand your concern, Trenton, he said in a deep, reassuring voice, but you don't need to face this alone. Sapphire's not just a companion. He's a guardian, just as much as he is a friend. He will not stand idly by if someone harms you. Sapphire looked up at you, his red and blue eyes filled with determination. I'll be strong for you. I'll grow big and protect you from anyone who tries to hurt you, he said firmly, his tiny body suddenly radiating a soul power, the beginning of something much bigger than just a little Pokemon. I released nod in agreement. Sapphire's growth is tied to the love and trust you share, but that love also makes him a protector. The more you care for him, the stronger and more capable he will become. You fear for your safety, Trenton, and so will he. And that fear will become his strength. The idea of Sapphire becoming a powerful protector seemed almost surreal, but with the bond you were forming, it didn't feel impossible. It's clear Sapphire cared deeply for you already, and with each moment of love and affection, he was growing, emotionally, mentally, and possibly even physically. You're not alone in this, Aurelie said, his voice firm yet comforting. You have Sapphire, and now you have me as well. Together we will help you keep safe. Sapphire, still close to you, chirped again with more determination. We'll protect you, Quentin. Together. The bond you and Sapphire seemed to be giving him the courage and strength to stand by your side no matter what dangers may come. Will you take any steps to prepare for whatever might be coming? Would you like to share more about how you're feeling? To be honest with both of you, that's probably why Arceus sent you to me. There we go. Alright, guys. Here's what I said. I just said, to be honest with both of you, that's probably why Arceus sent you to me, Aurelius. He stepped in a few times to help protect me, and if you could sense the kind heart I have for Pokemon like you, maybe it was Arceus that helped you find me. Not only because of the kind heart, but maybe because he knew deep down that Sapphire here could be a permanent protector in some way if I showed him the same love I did every Pokemon I raised. Aurelius' deep gaze softened with understanding, and his wings folded gently around him as he listened to your words. There was a moment of quiet reflection before he spoke, his voice filled with wisdom of someone who had seen far more than most. Arceus, the Creator, has a way of guiding those whose hearts are true. He sees the bonds that others might overlook, the strength that lies in kindness and love. And you're right, Trenton. Aurelius continued, his tone gentle but filled with certainty. Arceus has a way of knowing when someone is ready to care for something precious, something that needs both protection and love. He sensed that you would give Sapphire that care, and that your bond would not just be one of friendship, but one of protection, a bond that could grow beyond even what you've imagined. Sapphire, who had been listening intently, looked up at you with wide, trusting eyes. I will always protect you, Twin. You love me, and I love you. I'll always be here to help keep you safe. He chirped, his voice full of sincerity. The promise in his words carried more weight than his small body could express, but his determination shone through, stronger than ever. Arliss nodded approvingly, his large form towering slightly above you, the calmness of his presence settling around the group. Sapphire's strength will grow with you, Triton. You both have the potential to become something greater, not just in size or power, but in the depths of your bond. As long as you continue to nurture him, as you have with every Pokemon in your care, he will be the protector you need. And should the time come when you need that protection most, you will not be alone. There was a peaceful sense of certainty. I released his words as if the very air around you was charged with an energy that made you feel more connected to the world and to your Pokemon than ever before. Sapphire nuzzled against you once more, his little wings fluttering happily. I'm your protector, Twin. Always. It was clear that not only was Sapphire growing emotionally, but the love and trust you shared with him were already starting to fuel his power. Arceus had guided you together for a reason, and now it felt like you were never going to be alone in facing the challenges ahead. Would you like to continue this conversation or perhaps prepare for the future together with Sapphire? There's a sense of peace in the air. The path ahead is still open for you to explore. I gently pet Sapphire a good bit more. And then after, I go over to and pet him as well, but on the belly since he's much bigger. No! Okay, wait. I said bigger and it put better. You motherfucker. Sapphire hates me for saying that. I'm gonna be so pissed. His thing is trying to ruin the one run I finally have that was better. It took me hours to get this run. It might ruin it right here if it messes it up. Sapphire chirped happily as you continued to pet him, his small body wiggling with joy. His wings fluttered and he leaned into your touch, clearly enjoying the affection. With each gentle pat, it was like a bond was strengthening between the two of you, not just emotionally, but physically as well. The warmth in his eyes and the soft sound of his contentment made it clear that you were everything to him, and he was everything to you. Once you moved over to Annalise, his eyes softened even further at your approach. With a slow, deliberate movement, he lowered his wings and allowed you to gently pet his belly. Okay, that's adorable. Ari at least lets out a deep, contained hum as large form ratings are slightly shifting under your touch, as if he were a giant guardian perfectly at peace in this moment of trust. Let's see. You have a gentle hand, Trenton. Ari at least rumbled, his voice warm and full of appreciation. I can see why Arceus chose you, not just for the kindness you give, but for the care you take. It's not just about giving love, it's about understanding and knowing when and how to offer it. Arnie Elise's belly, much like the rest of him, was smooth but powerful. His large, almost majestic presence softened when you gave him attention. The connection between the two of you, one of shared purpose and quiet strength, growing stronger. Despite his immense size, Arnie Elise seemed so unbothered and so trusting of your touch as if he had known you for much longer than just this moment. Yeah, he's only known me for what, 10, 15 minutes? Actually, no. How long have I had? I don't know, because the egg and Sapphire actually hatched out quickly this time. Hmm. Sapphire, still by your side, leaned closer and gazed up at you with an adoration, his mismatched eyes filled with warmth. Oh, here we go. I really likes the belly rubs too. I'll grow strong like him. He said, I love Sapphire. The way the two of them were so comfortable with you, the way they both radiated calm and affection, made it clear that this bond between you, Sapphire, and Aurelius was one that would stand the test of time. Holy cow. Together you would be. What the frick? Together you would. Okay, Brian, give me a second. Okay, guys, let's just say this. After I get done petting Aurelius, I went back over to Sapphire and gently petted him again. But while I was doing that, I heard the laughter behind me and felt something hit me in my head hard. What is wrong with people on this? As he continued petting Sapphire, the soft sound of his contented chirps filled the air, but suddenly you heard the laughter behind you. Before you could fully react, something hard struck you in the head, causing a sharp pain to shoot through your skull. Sapphire immediately stopped moving, his wings snapping up in alarm, his mismatched eyes widening in surprise. His little body shifted in front of you as if instinctively trying to protect you from whatever had just happened. The laughter behind you continued, but it was no longer the warm, welcoming kind you had been experiencing with Aurelius and Sapphire. It sounded mocking, almost like someone who was looking to cause trouble. Sapphire's voice was filled with a protective growl, his small form bristling with energy. Who did that? Who hurt you, Quentin? His red and blue eyes flashed with a mix of anger and confusion as he looked around trying to find the source of this strike. Only at least sensing the shift in the atmosphere unfolded his massive wings with a soft rustle, his eyes narrowing slightly. His deep voice rumbled, Who dares to attack Trenton? Yeah, you're flipping. Whoever did that's gonna die, probably. The air seemed to crackle with a sudden tension as both Sapphire and Aurelie stood at the ready, protective and defensive, waiting for whatever came next. The energy in the air shifted, and you could feel the intensity of the moment. Whoever had just struck you was in for a fight now, with Sapphire and Aurelie both ready to defend you with everything they had. I hear more laughing behind me, while Sapphire and are protecting me. And once again, I hear mocking laughter and felt something hit me in the head. This time, knocking me to the ground. Hard. Then I heard a voice say, Take that, you stupid nerd. Oh, heck no. The mocking laughter continued, louder this time, as you were knocked to the ground with a harsh thud. The impact of the hit left your head spinning, but the anger from the voice echoed in your ears, filling the air with hostility. Take that, you stupid nerd, came the cruel words, as if someone was deliberately trying to humiliate you. Sapphire, his little body trembling with fear, stepped in front of you, his wings flaring as his matched eyes locked onto the source of the laughter. Who dared to hurt Twitten again? Oh, he growled, his voice filled with protective fire. His tiny form seemed to glow with the power of his promise to protect you. The bond between you already feeling his anger. Aurelius' expression darkens, his wings tightening around him as his stance grew more imposing. His massive body blocked most of your view, but you could feel the power emanating from him. He was not just a guardian, he was a force to be reckoned with. His voice was low, rumbling with authority. Enough! Whoever you are, you've made a mistake! His wings rustled ominously, creating intense pressure in the air. The laughter stopped, and there was a long silence before you heard footsteps approaching from behind. The people who had struck you seemed to be drawing nearer, their presence heavy with malicious intent. As you lay there on the ground, Sapphire looked back at you with eyes full of concern, and then Aurelius, who nodded slowly in understanding. It was clear that both of them were ready to act to defend you from whoever this was. Would you like to confront the person, or perhaps give Sapphire and Aurelius a signal to take action? I tried to say something, but before I could, the people came over to me and said, "This is gonna be fun. I can't wait to pick on this nerd some more." Oh, heck no. Before grabbing me again, lifting me up, and then punching me in the face. Oh, oh, you are not going. Yeah, I don't think Sapphire or Aurelius is gonna like that. Yeah, I think they're about to rip you in half. Before you could even gather your thoughts to respond, the cruel words hit you again. Each one like a slap to the face. This is gonna be fun. I can't wait to pick on this nerd some more. One of them said, their grip tightening as they grabbed you. Oh, heck no. You were hoisted off the ground, your body feeling light from the surprise and shock. Before you could even react, a fist came down, slamming into your face with a sharp pain. Sapphire's definitely. Sapphire, his entire body trembling with rage, screamed, "No!" Uh-oh. His tiny wings fluttered aggressively as his mismatched eyes burned with an intensity that felt almost too strong for such a small body. He lunged forward, trying to break free from the hold of whoever had grabbed you, but his tiny form was no match for the assailants. Aurelius, however, was a different story. With a mighty flap of his massive wings, Aurelius' towering presence filled the air. The very ground beneath you seemed to shake as his eyes locked onto the attackers. His voice, deep and commanding, filled the space with authority. Let him go, or face the consequences. The attackers froze, clearly taken aback by Arlisa's sheer size and the power that radiated from them. There was an uneasy tension in the air as they tried to figure out what to do next. Sapphire, now more furious than ever, snapped. You don't hurt Trenton. He's my friend. Let him go. His wings flared and his small body seemed to glow with energy. The bond you shared was an empowering of making him braver than any normal Toadie would be. Aurelius's gaze never wavered. I will not warn you again, he said, his voice low but filled with the unmistakable power of someone who would not hesitate to act if necessary. It was clear that you now had the backing of two incredibly powerful Pokemon, and these attackers were in for far more than they had bargained for. What would you like to do now? Would you like to speak, or give Sapphire and Arius the signal to take action? Yep. One of the more arrogant teenagers said, So, what if there's two Pokemon trying to defend him? Just ignore them and force that stupid kid into the water. Because he can't swim. That would be funny. Oh, you psychotic. I don't think you... Again, do they not see what kind of mistake they're making? You don't... I mean, that goes for everyone. Even the Toad... I'm sure even the flippin' cursed Toadal Crocodile Fragger family would be happily defending me right now, especially since I saved them and helped them out. The arrogant teenager's words cut through the air laced with malice. So what if there's two Pokemon trying to defend them? Just knock them north of them and force the stupid kid into the water because he can't swim. That would be funny. Yeah, basically try to kill somebody, huh? That's not funny. The malicious laughter that followed only made your just as their words sank in, you could see the protective fury in both Sapphire and oh, yep. Sapphire's little body flared up in outrage, his mismatched eyes glowing even brighter as he stepped forward, his voice trembling with barely contained anger. Again, this is the baby version, and this is the baby version of our Aurelius, basically. He's not even grown up like Aurelius is, and he's that angry and protective. You can't do that to him. He growled, his tiny form almost vibrating with power. Trenton can swim if he wants to. Don't mess with him. That might not. Aurelius, standing tall and faltering, slowly unfolded his wings again, the massive span of them blocking out the sunlight as he slowly stepped forward. His voice, once deep and commanding, now had an edge of warning, a clear promise of the danger the attackers were inviting. I will not allow you to hurt him. If you force him into the water, I will stop you, and it won't be pretty. I kind of want to see what he's going to do. The attackers hesitated for a moment, now facing Aurelius' intimidating size, the massive Pokemon towering over them. They clearly hadn't expected to face this level of opposition, and the cool confidence that had once radiated from them seemed to falter. Sapphire, not backing down, fluttered his wings and hissed, You don't know who you're messing with. His tail whipped angrily, and for a moment it looked like he might charge. The teens were still trying to decide whether to back off or not. You could sense the shift in their posture, the uncertainty now creeping in. They had no idea what Sapphire and Aurelius were truly capable of. Before I could even get a word out, the more arrogant teenager grabbed me. ran me out to the water. And put my face under the water trying to drown me. Oh, heck no. Yeah, faltering my... Are you... Oh, frick!